We're leaving Belize and heading back through Guatemala en route to El Salvador. This is the boat trip from Belize. It's just a bit of rain, but it's certainly making us really wet. Well, we've arrived in Livingston, and my goodness, it feels so good to be back in Guatemala. The border crossing was very easy, and we've checked in and dried out, had a shower and that. And now we're just sitting in the hotel restaurant and watching the world go by. This morning we're hopping on another boat. This time we're going to go up the Rio Dulce River to the town of the same name. Such a pretty journey this morning. It's only going to take us about an hour and a half. It's a shame it's not longer, really. We're just coming up to our hotel now. It's nice that he can drop us off right outside it. And nice that our hotel's right on the river. It's the restaurant area right ahead of us. There's a pool up on the terrace. This is what I'll be using a fair bit of. I'll just show you this walkway in front of the hotel. Just so many of these enormous expensive boats all around this area. I was looking to see where they're flagged, but actually most of them don't seem to have flags at all. Maybe they're all Guatemalan. This afternoon we thought we'd get a boat to the San Felipe Castle, which is just upstream from here. And that's it there. It's a Spanish colonial fort protecting the entrance to Lake Isabel, which is where the Rio Dulce starts. The fort was built in the 1600s and was operational for a few hundred years. It was built to protect a big port just upstream from here. A lot of Spanish goods would pass this way. It was mainly British pirates at that time that would attack the Spanish vessels. At night they'd fasten a large chain right across the river, making the lake even more secure. Pirates were pretty successful in attacking the castle because it had to be reinforced several times. This lake is called Lake Isabel, and it's the largest lake in Guatemala. Inspired by how beautiful we found the river yesterday, we've organised another trip today. It's a large part of the Rio Dulce area that's protected, and that's where we've headed. One of the reasons it's protected is because there's manatees that live here, highly endangered species. They enjoy eating the seagrass that's on the riverbed around here. It's actually highly unlikely that we'll see any because they're pretty hard to spot. The water's pretty cloudy and there's not very many of them. But in any case, we just fancied another trip on the river, to be honest. It's just so beautiful. Apparently the river is 18 metres deep in places. Makes it even more unlikely we'll see manatees. They only come up to breathe every 15-20 minutes or so. Actually, there are manatees living right along the coast of Belize as well, and when we did the scuba diving, we were told that we might see manatees, but again, really unlikely because there's just so few of them. What an absolutely wonderful trip this has been today. After that absolutely wonderful Rio Dulce trip, we had a pretty long and horrendous bus ride to Antigua. But we've come to this really lovely hotel just on the outskirts of town. We're in the foothills of the mountains here, and it's just wonderful hearing all the birds in the morning and eating eggs for breakfast every day. This is the upstairs of the hotel. It's one of these colonial courtyard type buildings. Just beautiful. There's goldfish in the pond down there. Not going to show you much of Antigua because we were here before, and there's another video on that. Just want to show you the lovely jacaranda trees in bloom at the moment. This is from the balcony of the National Museum of Guatemalan Art, looking out over the central plaza in Antigua. The other thing I wanted to show you was this view over the mountains. Acatenango, which was the one we climbed before, and Fuego, the active one. Only it's not really very active anymore. There was an earthquake about a month ago, and the eruptions are much, much smaller now. We're going to break up our journey to El Salvador with a stop in Escuintla in Guatemala. So that's where we're heading today on this bus. It was a fairly uneventful journey yesterday. Easy overnight stop here in Escuintla. This morning we're getting a bus to La Frontera, the border with El Salvador. That's it, just coming in here. This bus was absolutely rammed earlier, but it's been steadily emptying out as we've got closer to the border. The journey's been only about a couple of hours so far. We're nearly there now. Well, this is it, the border with El Salvador. We have to walk across the border. Weirdly, there's not very many other foot passengers. It's mainly just these huge, great big lorries. Well, we've passed through the border controls. That was all very easy. And now we need to hop on this bus to El Sonsonate, which is a big transport hub a couple of hours from here. Well, we've made it to El Sonsonate. Now we're just going to take a break. We're going to get some food, we're going to get some SIM cards, go to the bank, go to the loo, for the final push to San Salvador. Oh, we're almost there now. I think that's our apartment across the road. It's been a long old day, actually. Very pleased that we're here. Oh, we're here. Made it. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Oh, this is nice. Oh, lovely. Looking bedroom. I'm really happy with this place. It'll be great for the next couple of weeks as we explore San Salvador.